What's up, everybody? And I've been very late on my reviews. I just haven't been. I just have been on a very busy road. We have lots and lots to talk about. Let's kick it off with Monday Night Raw, pretty much. Since we'll start off with that bit of news. You know, me attending the Payback pay-per-view, and I am very mad now because they deleted my, well, they blocked my videos from YouTube from the reaction I get at. Well, I guess live reactions from the Payback pay-per-view from Chicago on Sunday, so I can't really, I can't be mad even though I said all rights belong to them, copyrights and stuff, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But Monday Night Raw, we kicked it off with mostly against Stephanie McMahon coming out and everything. Talking about she had a gift bag in her. She was going to welcome the viewers to Raw, but Shane McMahon came out as everybody chanted for Shane. Steph said, "You've been gone for 7 years, and now you're going to be a business partner, so I'm giving you a gift." Pretty much a new frame from that photo McMahon kind of stepped on, and once again this became the McMahon show again as they kicked off the show, another 20 to 30 minute long promo. But Kevin Owens came out, which was actually a change. As Owens said, this is lovely, and like, yes, you guys are back in, getting along together, but I want my rematch for my Intercontinental Championship, which he does deserve a rematch because he lost it at WrestleMania. He ought to get an automatic rematch. I decimated Sami Zayn, so I should get my title shot. And Owen says, you're a good businesswoman. You should help get me a title shot. Cesaro then came out saying I had Miz tapping out at Payback, which you guys got in the way. And Owen said that, yeah, but Sammy had no business being there also. So Shane booked Cesaro versus Kevin Owens to see who gets a title shot. But then again, Kevin Owens should have had a title shot. Owens didn't win against Cesaro. Miz was on commentary. Pretty much just the match went on. Cesaro threw Kevin Owens in the Miz and elbow, hit him with an uppercut. After that, Miz got in the ring, pretty much attacked Cesaro. Him and Kevin Owens jumped him, but Sami Zayn came out for the save and pretty much holding the title up at the end, which will just get a fatal 4-way at Extreme Rules, probably some type of match for the Intercontinental Championship. So that's gonna happen, even though Miz hopefully can get some in-ring credibility out of this. So, because all three of these guys are really great wrestlers. Not Miz really, but all three of these guys are great wrestlers. Even though I still think Owens should have had a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. They went to R-Truth, and he tried to teach Tyler Breeze how to rap. Goldust came dancing with Fandango, and they were going to get a match. AJ Styles is talking to Anderson and Gallows, as you gotta go extreme and become champion with Extreme Rules. And Reigns says that's so, but tonight it's going to be a 6-man tag as the Usos and Reigns will pretty much go against the Bullet Club. In my mind, pretty much that's what everyone's going to call is the Bullet Club right now. Breeze went against Goldust. Breeze actually got a win, but we're still doing this idiotic stuff with Goldust and Truth and all this. Just make it a tag team already. The New Day came out. I don't think they're over tonight, but they talked about Enzo being injured and very scary it was, really. And they did the little Beyonce jokes, but the crowd started chanting, "How you doing?" But they showed a picture of Enzo, and he was getting out of the hospital. He was going to release a note telling what Enzo Amore will be back, but hopefully soon enough. The Vaudevillains came out saying, like, yes, what happened to Enzo is tragic, and it's a tough business, but a real man would have got up. As they entered the ring, pretty much they said, we are now the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championship. Singing it, by the way. As they said, Enzo was not the realest guy in the emergency room. But the Dudleys came out then saying, we deserve the title shot. He called the Vaudevillains the Monopoly men right there. No one doesn't care what they're talking about. We got to restart this tournament. But when Enzo and Cass's music came out, Cass came out by himself. And he talked about how we already beaten the Dudleys and you two are going to pay for what they did, even though I don't think the New Day wasn't that over. The Vaudevillains, let me be honest, when I was at that pay-per-view, and I don't know how it came across on TV, when the Vaudevillains came out, they got barely little to no reaction, like for real, and I was there, so they kind of got no freaking reaction. No reaction when I said it at Narita. I don't know how it came across on TV, but it's like there was just no reaction when both those guys came out. Like you just really hear the music and nobody barely reacted to it. So yeah. Pretty much after that, the New Day and Colin Cassidy went against the Dudleys and Vaudevillains. New Day and Cass got the match won, so pretty good from there. Which I allowed for Cass. Also tonight, Becky Lynch went against Emma. Emma actually got a win, clean. Well, poke to the eye, so you know it was a pretty good match, especially for the women. I don't think the crowd cared that much, but it was alright. Primo and Epico, even though Puerto Rico is bankrupt as they're still travel agents, don't know when they will debut, but coming soon. Dean Ambrose, came out for the Ambrose Asylum. Ambrose Asylum, pretty much with Stephanie McMahon, as he talked about Stephanie, and he had Mitch with him, the plant. And that Stephanie hasn't changed, and he showed that photo from WrestleMania of her getting speared. And, you know, pretty much said, you've had this show about 4 weeks now, have you? Well, you know what? It's done after tonight. Because we're bringing back the highlight reel. So clean up your stuff and get to Stephanie. Ambrose pretty much took Mitch and was about to leave, but Chris Jericho came out. He came out and pretty much he looked at Ambrose. They talked about each other. And pretty much Ambrose and Jericho brawled. Jericho hit him with a code breaker. And then he took Mitch the plant and hit Ambrose over the head with it and knocked him out. So I guess that'll be the unfortunate last time they poor Mitch. So the booking was fast for him. Gone already. Gone already. What else? Yes, number 1 contender spot now. U.S. Championship. Well, pretty much all I would call this the Jobber Royal almost. Even though Titus O'Neil actually made a return. No Ryback. But I'm going to save that video for a different one and get into that whole thing. Pretty much the League of Jobber Nation was at the end. And Zack Ryder, pretty much Rusev will get the win, even though Kalisto's very boring on commentary, in my opinion. So they didn't really go nowhere with this that much. Rusev even getting a title shot, which he'll probably lose to Kalisto. But he'll beat Kalisto in a non-title match, and Kalisto will beat him on a kickoff show. So I wouldn't be surprised how that goes. Charlotte and Ric Flair came out. Pretty much gave everybody the woo! And sorry, checking my head right there. Pretty much doing a title shot, talking about what happened at Payback, and unfortunately we gotta do this Montreal Screwjob crap. Charles Robinson, the little H, came out. I don't know why Stephanie or Shane doesn't do anything about it. And I'm gonna hold this spot for a second. yes, little Nate pretty much said yes, no, as everybody Jan cheated, and pretty much Charlotte called him away. Pretty much they had them work together with it. Natalya came out saying that he paid Charles Robinson to screw out of the match. And pretty much now, this whole Hart and Flair thing has gone along for so long and stuff. Charlotte was about to attack Natalya, but Charlotte, not Natalya, the ring. Flair took off his jacket. Hopefully he was going to do something, but she slapped Ric Flair and put him in a sharpshooter, and she had to pull him out of the ring. Rumors then after that, Stephanie told Charlotte that Flair is just getting in the way, and that it's going to be a submission match, but Flair is banned from ringside, and they weren't happy with that. Next was pretty much Roman Reigns, Jimmy, and the Usos getting booed out the building, versus, and they want to call it the family versus the club, but it was pretty much Reigns and the Usos, or Samoan team, or whatever, versus the Bullet Club. So, the Bullet Club went against them. And even though this match didn't go on that long, the Bullet Club won in the end. AJ hit the forearm, beating one of the Usos, but after the match, Gallows and Anderson pretty much put Reigns in the ring, and they took a chair and they held Reigns as he told AJ in with a chair, but he didn't do it, and fans were kind of pissed at that. Then the Usos get in the ring, attack Styles with a chair. Yeah, and they knocked pretty much started fighting with Gallows and Anderson. They knocked them out of the ring, but Styles got the chair and hit the Usos, but Reigns saw it, he got pissed and beat up Reigns, which he was booed out of the building for. And then he pretty much he pretty much murdered AJ Styles and put him through a table. So you don't mess with Reigns' family, as the announcers want to put it. And this show didn't even really make a lot of sense, especially after what happened on Payback. So it was just like, why? It's like, okay, AJ lost last night, and he couldn't even get a win tonight, but he gets murdered and put through a table. What sense does that make? But it was kind of see all the Bullet Club come out together, so that was pretty cool. But I got a lot more to say in a different video, and I want to keep this raw review there because there's been a lot of news lately in the past 24 hours, and I really want to speak on it. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.